Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom, where we discuss ways to simplify, find peace, and enhance enjoyment in our later years. Now, I have a question for you. Does your home feel welcoming and serene? Or are you greeted by piles of unopened mail, overflowing closets, and jam-packed drawers when you walk into a room? This is a common scenario, but here's the truth. Living clutter-free isn't just a pipe dream. It's achievable right now. Today, we're debunking 16 pervasive decluttering myths that trap many seniors. Trust me, once you dismiss these myths, you'll find everything becomes simpler. So if you're prepared for genuine solutions, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. Lie number 1. Regret. Decluttering myth, no. 1. I'll regret getting rid of this. Does this scenario sound familiar? You're holding onto an old sweater, a set of dishes, or a pile of old newspapers, thinking, what if I need these someday? What if I regret letting them go? This type of fear can paralyze us. But let's look at the facts. Studies have found that 80% of the items we save just in case are never used again. Indeed, most things we cling to out of fear simply take up closet space, unused for years. When was the last time you actually needed those extra mixing bowls or those greeting cards from 2 decades ago? If it's been years, you likely never will. To overcome this fear, try the time will tell bin method. Place questionable items in a bin and store them away for 3 months. If during that time you don't find any use for them, you probably never will. This is your cue to let them go and free up your space. Lie number 2. Can't afford. I know many of us grew up in a time when you didn't waste anything. You repaired, reused, and saved because you never knew when you might need something again. That mindset helped us back then, but now it's keeping our homes cluttered and overwhelming. The truth is, keeping something just in case often comes from a scarcity mindset. The fear that if we let something go, we won't be able to afford it later. But let's think about this logically. Clutter isn't free. It costs us time because we have to dig through piles to find what we actually use. It costs us energy because managing a home full of extra stuff is exhausting, and it costs us peace of mind because a cluttered space creates stress. Here's a simple test. If this item disappeared today, would you rush out to buy it again? If not, then it's not essential. It's time to let go. Lie number 3. Not good at it. I'm just not good at decluttering. I hear this one all the time. I've never been good at organizing, so what's the point in trying now? But let me tell you something. Decluttering is not a talent. It's a skill. And like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Think about the first time you tried to ride a bike or cook a meal from scratch. It felt awkward at first, right? But the more you did it, the more confident you became. Decluttering is the same way. The hardest part is getting started. So let's start small. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or even just one corner of a room. Set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes. Focus only on that space, and when you finish, celebrate that win. Small successes build momentum, and before you know it, you'll be on a roll. Lie number 4. Kids need it. Because my children or grandchildren might need these things. I know this one all too well. We hold on to extra furniture, kitchenware, old linens, even entire sets of china, because maybe our children or grandchildren will want them someday. It feels wasteful to give them away, and we think, what if they need this when they buy their first home? What if they regret not taking it later? But here's the honest truth. Most young people don't want these things. Their homes are smaller, their styles are different, and they simply don't use many of the things we once treasured. A study from Ohio State University even found that millennials and Gen Z prefer experiences over possessions, meaning they'd rather have a clutter-free life than inherit a house full of stuff. So, What's the solution? Ask them directly. If they truly want it, they'll take it now. If not, set a deadline. If they don't pick it up, donate it to someone who will use it. And most importantly, let go of the guilt. Your home isn't a storage unit. It should be a place where you feel peaceful and comfortable. Lie them to 5. Wasting money. Oh, I know this feeling all too well. You pick up a jacket, a kitchen gadget, or a piece of furniture, and suddenly you remember how much you spent on it. Throwing this away is like throwing away money, right? But here's the truth. The money is already gone. Keeping something you don't use won't bring the money back. In fact, clutter is costing you more than you realize. It takes up space in your home, drains your mental energy, and even adds stress when you have to clean around it. So let's reframe the way we think about value. Instead of asking, how much should I pay for this? Ask yourself, what is this item costing me if I keep it? If it's taking up space, creating stress, or making your home harder to manage, then letting it go is actually the smartest financial decision you can make. Lie number 6, tied to possessions. I completely understand this one. Our belongings tell a story. The books we've read, the clothes we wore during special moments, the souvenirs from trips long past. They all remind us of who we were and the life we've lived. It's hard to let go because, in a way, it feels like letting go of part of ourselves. But here's the question. Does keeping all these things add value to your life today? Or are they just taking up space, making it harder to enjoy the present? A simple solution is the container rule. Choose a defined space. 1 bin for sentimental clothes, 1 shelf for books, 1 small box for keepsakes. Once it's full, you must decide what stays and what goes. This way, you keep what truly matters without letting the past take over your present. Lie number 7. Lose warmth. If I declutter, my home will lose its warmth and personality. I get it. Our homes are filled with decades of memories. Every photo, every trinket, every piece of furniture holds a story. It's easy to think that if we remove things, our home will feel empty, like a house instead of a home. But here's the truth. Clutter doesn't create warmth, memories do. And when there's too much, the things that truly matter get lost in the mess. Imagine walking into a space where your favourite items shine, where you can actually appreciate them without distraction. Here's a simple way to do that. Create a memory corner. Instead of scattering sentimental items everywhere, choose a small space to display them beautifully. Keep the pieces that bring you the most joy and let go of the rest. Your home will feel even cozier without the clutter. Lie number 8. More storage. Oh, I've been there. You see a commercial for fancy storage bins and think, that's the answer. If I just organise everything neatly, my home will feel less cluttered. But let's be honest, buying more bins doesn't solve the problem, it just hides it. Think of it this way. If your closet is overflowing, the solution isn't to buy a bigger closet, it's to own fewer clothes. True organisation starts with decluttering first. Here's the right order. Step 1. Declutter. Get rid of what you don't use or need. Step 2. Group similar items together. That way, you see exactly how much you have. Step 3. Only then decide if storage is necessary. Most of the time, you'll realise you don't need extra bins at all. You just needed less stuff. Lie number 9. Can't maintain. Dedicating time to decluttering is useless because I won't be able to maintain it. I understand this concern. Many of us think, why bother decluttering now if, as I get older, it's just going to get messy again? But here's the truth. The less you own, the easier it is to maintain. Think about it. A cluttered home requires more dusting, more rearranging, and more energy just to move around safely. But a simplified home practically takes care of itself. Here's how to make it manageable. Start small, declutter 1 shelf, 1 drawer, or 1 corner at a time. Prioritize safety. Clear walkways, remove tripping hazards, and simplify the spaces you use the most. And create simple routines. Even just 5 minutes a day can keep things organized without overwhelming you. A little effort now means a safer, more peaceful home for years to come. Lie 3 says 10. Overwhelmed. Oh, I know this feeling well. You walk into a room, see the piles of papers, the overstuffed closets, the drawers that barely close, and you think, where do I even begin? That feeling of overwhelm is real, and it can stop us in our tracks. But here's what I've learned. Overwhelm isn't a sign to avoid decluttering. It's a sign that you need it more than ever. And the best way to break through it? Start small. Pick just one drawer, one shelf, or even just your bedside table. Set a timer for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. Give yourself permission to stop when the timer goes off. Most of the time, once you get started, you'll want to keep going. And even if you don't, you'll still have made progress. And that's what counts. Little by little, you'll take back control of your space and your peace of mind. Lie number 11, sentimental. Oh, this one is personal. Many of us have closets, drawers, or even whole rooms filled with supplies from hobbies we once loved. Painting sets, sewing machines, woodworking tools, stacks of fabric. We tell ourselves, one day I'll get back to it. But let's be honest, will we really? Our interests change, our hands aren't as steady, our eyesight isn't what it used to be, and sometimes our energy just isn't there. Holding on to these supplies isn't bringing us joy, it's just taking up space. So, here's what you can do. Be realistic. If you truly think you'll use it again, keep just one small box of essentials. If not, donate them to a senior centre, a library, or a local charity. Someone else could be making beautiful things with those supplies right now, instead of them collecting dust in a closet. Letting go doesn't mean losing a part of yourself. It means making space for the things that truly fit your life today. Lie number 12, hobby supplies. My house is too small to stay clutter-free. I hear this all the time. My house is just too small. There's no way I can declutter enough to make a difference. But let me tell you a little secret. Clutter has nothing to do with the size of your home. It has everything to do with what you choose to keep. I've seen people in big houses feel cramped because they filled every inch with stuff. And I've seen people in tiny apartments feel light and free because they've learned to keep only what truly matters. So how do you maximize your space? Be ruthless about what stays. If it's not useful or meaningful, let it go. Use vertical space, install shelves, use wall hooks, and take advantage of every inch, and keep surfaces clear. A clutter-free table or countertop instantly makes a space feel bigger. Your home can feel open and peaceful, no matter its size. Lie number 13, home too small. I'm too old to start decluttering now. I know what you're thinking. I've lived in this home for decades. There's too much stuff. It's too late to start now. But let me tell you something. It is never too late to make your home safer, simpler, and more peaceful. Decluttering isn't about achieving some perfect magazine-worthy home. It's about creating a space that works for you today. And as we age, that becomes even more important. Mobility changes, our energy levels change. A clutter-free home means fewer tripping hazards, less frustration when looking for things, and more room to move freely. So here's how to start. Pick just one small, meaningful space, maybe your bedside table, your favourite chair's surroundings, or even just your kitchen counter. Remove anything that doesn't bring you comfort or joy. Set a 15-minute timer and stop when it rings. You don't need to do it all at once. Small steps lead to big progress, and trust me, your future self will thank you. Lie number 14, too old. I need to keep this because it's an heirloom. Oh, this one is tough. I know because I've been there. We hold on to furniture, china, and collectibles that have been passed down for generations, thinking, if I let this go, am I betraying my family's history? But here's the hard truth. Not everything has to be kept to honour the past. Keeping something out of guilt doesn't make it more meaningful. And if your children or grandchildren don't actually want it, holding on to it doesn't ensure it will be treasured. It just means it takes up space in your home. So ask yourself, does this bring me joy, or does it bring me stress? Could it serve someone else better, a museum, a historical society, or a family member who would truly appreciate it? If you're struggling to let go, take a photo of special items before donating them. Or better yet, gift heirlooms now instead of storing them indefinitely. And if something is truly special, create a storybook. Write down its history so the memories live on, even if the item itself doesn't stay in your home. Lieberischer 15. Heirloom. If I haven't used it in years, it's too late to let it go. I know this feeling well. You look around at the clutter that has built up over the years, and a little voice in your head says, I should have done this a long time ago. Maybe you feel embarrassed or even defeated, thinking, what's the point now? But let me tell you something. It is never too late to reclaim your space and your peace of mind. Every item you remove is one less thing to worry about. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. And think about this. Do you really want your children or loved ones to deal with this later? Decluttering now isn't just a gift to yourself, it's a gift to them too. So here's what I suggest. Forgive yourself for the past. You're making the best decision for yourself today. Start with just one item. Every small choice adds up. And when in doubt, ask yourself, would I want my family sorting through this after I'm gone? If the answer is no, now is the time to handle it. Line number 16. Too late. Decluttering is not about eliminating everything. It's about creating room for the essentials that enhance your life. Your home should be a sanctuary of comfort, joy, and ease, not a source of stress, frustration, or endless maintenance. Picture entering a space that's open, tranquil, and distinctly your own, unburdened by superfluous clutter. By challenging these decluttering misconceptions, you reclaim control over your space, your mental well-being, and your future. Begin today with one modest step, one deliberate choice at a time. Remember, you are worthy of a living space that offers sanctuary and solace. Conclusion. If you found this video beneficial, please remember to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom for more insights on leading a simple, safe, and joyful life. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.